Hey, what's up, Toby?
Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Hey, we made it another week.
Indeed.
It
Yeah.
is
Another
the
Process Debt
it's
podcast.
the Process Set podcast, and
Excellent.
today we've got another guest. We've got Cory Blumenfeld.
Yeah. Super excited to have you with us,
Uh,
Cory. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining
yeah.
us.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks,
Yeah.
Toby. I got that right? Yeah,
Oh, we nailed it.
I nailed it.
Actually,
No,
I'm Toby and he's Chris, but nobody else is going to see the
it's
difference.
been a
So,
long day. It's been a long day, but no, I'm excited to be here. I was
yeah.
enjoying shooting the stuff before the call, so I know this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Just going to
Absolutely.
vibe. There you
Cory,
go.
just to tantalize folks that are in less attractive climates, you want to let everybody know where you're joining us from today?
The beach is about 2 blocks away. I haven't seen it. Like I haven't gone probably in a couple months, but I know it's there. But I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I live by the beach. I don't go to it.
Yeah.
Mm. I can smell it right now. That we have this thing called
Nice.
sargasso. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's
Huh?
a seaweed. It keeps you away from it right now in the summer, but it's still a
Yeah.
beautiful place. But yeah, working from Mexico,
That is
eating lots
awesome.
of tacos. No tequila. I don't drink that much, but a lot of tacos.
There you go. Tacos are magic.
Corey reached out to us. He found our podcast and he's like, you know what? He's like, I built my business by way of process accidentally. And so we wanted to just kind of drill into that accidental creation of a business. And then the other thing that we learned before we were filming this is he's a tech guy that, now works with people, has navigated himself to management. And so this story is so intriguing, man.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
everybody's origin stories. Catch
Yeah.
us up, Cory. Love to hear it.
Yeah. So we'll start the most recent business, Blumoso. We help people and businesses, solopreneurs connect with the right virtual talent. We
Yep.
match them based on work style, personality type, communication style,
Yeah.
and skill. And we make sure they're just the right fit, the right alignment. Now, this came to be accidentally. Like I never thought I was going to be in this space, in the outsourcing space. Uh, I thought I was going to build another tech company. That's what I wanted to do. That's all I know. And then I guess 2 years ago now, I had exited my last business and I knew I had to get online creating content. It was just something I needed to do. I couldn't do it before. I was too scared to put myself out there. Uh, and I knew that whatever I started next, in order to start it, I had to be seen. I didn't know what it was, but I knew if I was seen, if I was putting myself out there, something would come and find me. So I was like, where am I going to start? So I started on LinkedIn and
Can I just
yeah,
pause right there?
yeah.
So, Corey has a extensive LinkedIn following. Like whatever he has done has worked very well. So
Thank you. Thank you. But it was just it was creating content. But at first I thought what I had to say was unimportant. It didn't matter. And
Yeah.
I talked to so many people about this. It just, you feel like you don't matter because everyone else is talking about it. But if it was easy, everyone would do it. So I made this commitment to myself because I wanted to build my confidence. I wanted to become a better public speaker. I wanted to be seen. I knew I couldn't continue to lead from the back. My last two businesses, I just never put myself out there. I relied on everyone else. I relied on my business partners. And, it's very hard to be seen. It's very hard to build something when you're unable to actually lead from the front. You're leading from the back seat. You drive the car off the road. That's how I look at it. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to start this. So I started posting. I was like, I'm going to do once a day. But I got hooked. I was like, wow, the thrill. Like my confidence is through the roof. I'm a better speaker than I thought. I can write. I always I hated to show people my writing. And it wasn't even great content. I used ChatGPT, but it didn't matter because it was more the act of doing it that brought me joy. So, it became growth on these platforms. There's a lot of strategy and systems that go in. You can see the patterns, right? And that's a whole other talk. But there's patterns for growth, right? And you're asking about the growth.
Yep.
There's patterns that folks use. So I started to spot these patterns. I started to notice different writing techniques to use. And so I started documenting all those systems because I wanted to get better. The type A entrepreneurial mindset, get better at what you're doing. It's like, be the best. And so I wanted to be the best. Around the same time, so I had committed to growing. I got from 1 day a week to 7 days a week posting. It required me to like be on the platform like a full-time job because you have to build relationships, connect, engage, and comment, all this stuff. So it's like, okay, I had a whole system in place that I built. I got a consulting position. So it's like, okay, I have to work full time. I can't do this full time. I'm gonna bring
Now
on a
what?
virtual assistant. Everyone has virtual assistants, right? So I'm gonna bring on a virtual assistant. So I found this individual, and we started working together. And the thing that I learned from my other businesses, when you bring on someone to support you, you don't just bring them on and expect them to know what to do. Like, and you
Yeah.
can't expect them to be successful. You have to guide them. You have to invest time in them. You have to teach them. You have to have the systems in place so
Yeah.
they can succeed, right?
Yeah.
So I spent all this time building these systems in place. I also spent a lot of time showing them what success looked like and how important it was for me. Like, if she was doing 4 hours of work, I was doing 8 hours of work, and showing her like, it's not just you, like, it's meaningful work. I know it seems
Yeah.
boring, but it's meaningful. And the fact that I'm doing this boring work means that it's meaningful. And yeah, that was the process, right? The process mattered. So while I was doing this, people started to reach out. They started to ask questions. It was, in my prior life when I wasn't doing this, it was so hard to get people on the phone. Nobody wanted to talk to me. It's like,
Yeah.
it's weird because, you say like the following. I'm like, the following means nothing in reality, but like, I get it. Like to the outside world, like when you have that following, they're just like, oh, this guy's posting content. He's a creator. Like, there's some social proof. So people started reaching out. I started creating some relationships and friends on the platform. And I'd get on calls with folks and I'd be like, well, this is my system. And I'd talk about it. And I'd be like, well, I have my VA doing this and I'm doing this. And this is how we go about with growth. And I kept hearing from folks. I've gone through so many VAs. I can't find the right person. I suck at creating systems. I suck at creating process. And I'm bad at operations. And so my previous role in my last couple businesses was the operations role.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
I'm going to say I always felt like I wasn't the best with systems or process, but I have ADHD, and something I've learned, if you're all over the place, the best way to stay focused is to have something that forces you to focus. So yeah,
Absolutely.
can use these
SOPs are
folks.
magic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I have this VA. I'm growing close with her and her family. At this point, her whole family, like her husband, her sister-in-law, her sister, are working with me. And we're talking every day just as friends and
Yeah.
like family. So people kept asking me, I'm like, if I could get more work, I managed the systems and the processes, would you be open to this? And they're like, of course. So as I'm talking to folks, I'm just like, so, we're talking about systems and process and my system. Would you pay for this? And, at first, it was I was surprised with how many people said yes. We got like 2 or 3 customers the first month. It was just like it was like a side project really to help my virtual assistant out. And that was like 2 years ago. And flash forward, now we have over 70 virtual assistants and virtual talent in our talent pool. That virtual assistant is my business partner. She's amazing, Chow Romero. I can't say enough amazing things about her and her family. And it all started because we built out systems and process. And that is one of the hardest things for a lot of business owners to do. Now, we started in a different area that we are today, and we can talk about that and how we got to where we are. But yeah, now, from doing random tasks specifically for like LinkedIn growth and everything else, now we're helping people like place the right talent and grow their businesses, find capacity.
That's cool. The thing that strikes me here is you just telling that story. I love the fact that you led the way, right? Where it's like, I'm going to do 8 hours, you're going to do 4. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a lost art among humans, maybe, where it just lead in the front of the bus. And I really like that you called that out, because it's just so critical. It's just that critical piece where, like, I think if you skip that step, and maybe this is a question, like if you skip that step, do you think you'd be where you're at today?
I see this all because I work a lot with folks and try to help them with delegation and build the systems, right?
Yeah.
I don't brand myself as a coach, but I do a lot of strategy and coaching with folks. And, I think this is the difference between a great delegator. A great delegator has a clear understanding of what needs to be done. It's so clear that they can make it easy for the other individuals that they're delegating to understand. The other thing is they're able to show and demonstrate, right? The only reason they're delegating is they don't have the capacity. There's something else that they need to go and work on, right? It's not just here, go figure it out on your own. So yeah, I think, right, and this is not a question of process, it's a question of like leadership. Who are you more likely to follow? The person at the front of the line running into battle, or the person hiding at the back and saying, go risk your lives for me?
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I think it's crucial, and the best leaders, the best delegators I see are the ones that are willing to roll up their sleeves and do it themselves. I think I read the Elon Musk book, and whether it's not about the person here. What do you think of him, or what you not? We're not going down that path. You can learn something from
We've already
everyone, right?
recorded that one, I think.
Yeah. Whatever. But his whole thing is like, okay, if you're not willing to do it, I will go and jump on and do it. Like
For sure.
I think he was talking about the rockets and everything. He was learning more than his team, showing them how important it was. Like he was building the understanding. He was able to go and fix stuff. So it's important as a leader to go and be able to solve the problems and not expect others to do it for you.
Yeah.
That's great. Cory, I find it really interesting, and given the nature of our Process Step podcast, it's one thing to build a process that makes sense to us, right? And so one process, one person doing it. My documentation, whether I have ADHD or not, it just makes it easier for me to show up, suit up, and get the job done. But you've gone from bringing in one person to do that, and it sounds like what you're doing is offering services that then replicate some of the same motion that you're doing for yourself. We have another friend that works in his business is in this outsourced VA space, and what they're doing is marrying talent into businesses to help cover some of the back end while people are actually delivering services. So different model, similar concept. How much did your process change from what you were starting out with to the process now that you guys are deploying for your clients? Like what iteration number are you? And, like, I can't imagine it's the same thing that you said, hey, I need some help with this thing a couple hours a week.
Probably best to ask my team what number they think that we're at, because they're the one. I feel like it's not that much, but to people outside, it must feel like a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think I came into this business with no understanding of it, right? And in any of the businesses, it's like I've never really, and this is something I talk about, like I never really had experience. I didn't have outsourcing experience, but I figured it out, which means you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So, we're in a constant state of growth. The model that we started with, the one that I shared with you, where we did a lot of tasks for individuals, we worked hourly. It worked, but it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't scalable. And coming from the tech background, I can't help but think about scale and being very efficient and, effective with my time, because that's what it takes to scale. So, we were doing something that wasn't working, but it was building a brand, right? I was learning about the industry. I was learning about the individuals that we're working with, how to motivate them more, how to set them up for success, how to provide them with more. I didn't come into this knowing that, right? So in terms of what iteration we're on, I couldn't even tell you, but what I know is the model is continuously changing, and it's going to change. Not too much. Like I won't be, if you're listening to this, do not worry. We will be doing very similar things. We'll just be getting better.
That's right. I like that casual aside, Cory. That's very true.
Like we're just getting better, and I'm trying to get more fair and provide more and create more stability for the talent pool. But I'm also trying to do what's right for the clients and identify better clients to work with for the team, right? So it's a balancing act. And for me, I'm not going to learn this without going through it. So iteration number, couldn't tell you. I don't want to know at this point, but it doesn't feel like it's that much. It's just, we're getting better.
Well, let me ask maybe, because you touched on something, and Chris and I in our own journey over the last couple of years together, you start off with the tasks. How do I build something? How do I build it again? How do I exercise the machine, and what are the steps to go through? And that's where we go to market first. Does anybody even want these steps? But as we tune it, we discover that the value of the steps, they get so fast, and we find ways to streamline it that now we're giving the service away. So now we shift from selling tasks and hours to outcomes. It sounds like maybe you guys have crossed that bridge now where you're more outcome based, which is what customers want anyway, right? I don't want 5 tasks done. I want the outcome at the back end. Do you feel like your iterations now at that outcome place? Is that what clients are talking to you about now instead of tasks?
This is what keeps me up, right? This was the big change, right? The truth is, a lot of people, I quote another entrepreneur that it's controversial. Steve Jobs said this, right? People don't know necessarily what they want, right? So they associate a task with an outcome, and that's what we did. A lot of task work, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the task folks were actually caring about. They cared about the outcome, but the hard shift, and on the side of the virtual assistant that we had working on it, it was like, I do X and get paid for doing X. I could do X and get paid for doing X. X is no longer working. I keep doing X. I get paid for doing X.
Yeah.
Why am I stopping doing X? That's what I get paid for. And it was this shift, right, where we really needed to focus on the outcome. It didn't matter about the task, right? Because the client didn't. What would they if the virtual assistant or the individual came to them and said, I think we should try this. I think because everything's a hypothesis, right? I think we should switch and stop doing this.
Yep.
Let's try this out. And that achieved the outcome. They're like, oh, well, why was I didn't even care about the task. So that was something that, we reframed. That was the big shift. Whereas we do placements now. It's not tasks. We're placing an individual for an outcome. They're responsible for a role, right?
Yeah.
Individual tasks, you outsource that to AI, right? Like that's what it wants to do the same thing day in, day out. It's not going to complain. It's not going to feel like it's unfulfilled, right? For humans, there needs to be some differentiation. They need to feel like they're adding value in an outcome. You see the ROI on that. You see the value you've created. So yes, Toby, you 100%. Like that was the big thing, big shift that we went through. And again, it wasn't a big thing. And at least in my eyes, it was just the right thing to do. It made sense because it just enhanced everyone's lives. No one wants to be doing the same thing every single day. No one wants to be doing a task that's actually not doing anything, like leading to any ROI for the client. So we've shifted over the last little bit, and it's allowed me to breathe a little more. And I hope it's team, if you're listening, I hope you feel the same. I'm not trying to keep you up at night. I hope you're less stressed.
That's great. Quick question on that, because I was just thinking about Toby and I have talked about how important psychological safety is for process, right? And sometimes going from that task mindset to I've got to do a task, I got to do a task. If I do the task, I'm okay, to I've got to move into a more creative human space is more rewarding, but also feels like a trap, right? Like, what did you do to kind of navigate to get there? Or are you in the middle of that process?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that we've gone there. We're in the middle of the process, right? No, it's a transition because you can't just cannibalize everything in one night.
Yep.
Right. I know it's better, but I can't go just cannibalize everything that we have set up. So we're in the transition right now. We've set up the new model, the new revenue model, the new processes that we need for it. We have our new, we joke around on the team, we call it the matchy process, right? Like we've built a really complex process and kind of assessment for matching a business owner, a manager to the right individual. Like, cause the skill doesn't, I could match you to the right, like the person that has all the skills you've ever wanted for a position. They check all the boxes, but you don't connect with them at a communication level, personality level, and their work style is completely different from yours. Yeah, it's not going to work out. So we've changed this all, and we're just in the process of really like rolling it out to the
That's cool.
future and new clients.
That's awesome. What is your let's get into the very tactical.
Yeah.
What's your tech stack? Like what's your process tech stack? I mean,
Awesome.
everybody has the Microsoft 5 or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But what do you use? What do you use? Do you use anything? Do you have any secret sauce, like special software, or you just have
We build processes as we go along. So like Notion, but like Claude.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you hear a lot about Claude these days? Like,
we love
Yeah.
Claude.
Claude's hot.
yeah,
He's fantastic.
Claude is very hot these days. It's like the only thing I hear now. And now
I mean, even as a
I'm
straight
talking
guy, I'm
about
here
it.
to tell you, Claude's pretty hot.
Cloud is hot. That's all I hear about these days. But like to be truthful, what we do is we set up all these connectors, and you can build anything. I built my own website. I have
Yep.
connected Claude and the systems for analysis that we've built out. Right, like it can compute data so much faster. So we have
Yep.
the skills. It
Yep.
connects to the different databases in Notion. Right. And yeah, now we're building out a portal, but I always believe in like, as you could testing and just trying it and doing
Sure.
things that don't scale. And, if it passes the test, then you go and build it out. And that's what we're doing. Like
Yep.
I'm working on a portal, but I realize like it's kind of a low priority for me, even though I want it to be a high priority. There's just other things I need to focus on growing the business. So it's like, yeah. So we're in the process of building out some of our own tech, but it's not like needed because the process, our IP works. Nobody like it. We have the scoring system. We have everything. So
Yep.
Claude, Notion, Slack, WhatsApp, a lot
Yep.
of communications
Yep.
king
Oh,
or
yeah.
queen. It's super important. A lot of social, like we have a lot of tools for social media and account management that we use.
Yep.
But just, Notion's the best place to document for us.
No, that's great.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you kind of had narrowed it down to Notion, right? Just as a single app. Mostly because I feel like a lot of times people get squirrely when it comes to tools, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I want all the tools. And so that you're like,
Right.
or at least if you're me, maybe this is a me problem
Yeah.
we're talking about, where it's like, I want to constantly try that new thing and nothing ever gets roots. And so I'm not surprised that you brought up Notion because it is good at documentation
Yeah.
and has some workflow items in it. It's cool.
Most of our business is documentation, right? So, like we tried using ClickUp, but it was too much for us. And,
Yep.
the other thing is I don't want to manage tasks anymore. So
Got it.
internally, but what I do recommend, because I know you guys do a lot of Monday stuff, right? I recommend to clients to implement these tools, these project management tools. I don't want to be the project manager anymore. That's kind of what we got away from task management because, but I think I think every company should have a project management system, a project management tool. They should have a document system. There are 100 tools that are coming out every day. So
We've talked about this a lot. Like you basically run into the Office suite.
Yeah.
Right. Like you truly, like that's literally all a business needs. You need Word, right? You need PowerPoint for presentations and decks, right? You need Access, old school, you need
Some version of
what's Access?
the database. Old school database.
Cory,
Back in the day.
I'll send you some discs with maybe stuff on them. And you can,
I remember in class they taught us how to type on those old fashioned keyboards, and
Oh yeah.
now I don't even type. I just press a button. I talk into the computer. Whisper's pretty slick. Whisper Flow. You know Whisper?
Whisper is pretty slick. I need to figure out. I need to practice into that way of working, even though it makes me feel uncomfortable. Specifically around documentation, but I think it could be. I've heard you bring it up. I've heard a couple other people bring it up. I've heard memes of people in the office, just kind of Talk
changed
to
my life. To be, I couldn't. I actually like.
So,
so-
so let's share kind of what
Yeah.
that is, because we're going to have some listeners that probably don't know what that is. But can you just share what you do in that, what you do, how you do it, why you do it, how it's helped?
life with build process with a business or
No, just the whisper flow piece.
yeah, like because my brain goes a mile a minute trying to type that all out is impossible. And I used to always get frustrated because I'd have a thought, I didn't write it down quick enough, or I was in the middle of writing it down and then I forgot where I was going with it.
Yep.
Whisper Flow it works on your phone, it works on your computer, you press a button. It's really good dictation software. It's like speech to text software. And so like when you're interacting with AI, right? Because the good when you're using like these AI tools, you want to have a conversation with it. You don't want it to do the work for you. You want to bring the heart and the soul. So when I'm using Claude or when I'm using ChatGPT, it's not like, hey, do this. I need you to solve the problem for me. It's like, hey, this is what I want, blah, 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 blah. So I can talk to it and then I can have a conversation. It makes it a lot easier to get all of your thoughts out. So I love it because it's so easy to use. I press one button on my computer. It documents it. It gets all the context out. So
Use your brain.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just now I'm a faster typer. I find I don't know why. Maybe it's because of this. But like I can type faster. But
Yeah.
I like it. It's made my life a lot easier, and it's one of those tools that like I don't think I could live without it. I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's a sign of a healthy relationship right there, Corey.
Yeah.
It's not a codependent thing. So
It's not. I have to type sometimes when I can't be on like if I'm on a plane, I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I'm so strange.
right.
I'm like, and I was doing it on the plane. I was like, how do I? Because it's so much easier than typing. I'm like, I don't want to type. All of you typing on here, go away.
What's that sweet talking going on aisle 14? You know? Hey, Corey, let me ask, this is a conversation I have with clients a lot, and it's about where do we choose to be loose and where do we choose to be tight? And by that, I just mean, where do we want to be really exacting and where do we want to give people more autonomy to work the way they want?
Yeah.
Have you found a place in your business where you're like, it's critical that we're very tight in a particular way and not even the specifics? I'm just thinking about you've evolved through several businesses and you've now sat in different seats. And now instead of software, you're working with a gangle of humans, serving other humans. And so I'm imagining you've had to think differently about where do I demand exactness and where do I give people a lot more leash?
Yeah. Well, so two things come to mind, right? So something that, and this might just be because, I really do like productivity. I like efficiency. I think it's important to be like, I try to teach the team to be good delegators, right? Especially if they are in a management position.
Yeah.
I think deadlines are super important. So where I give, the tight leash is I like for my team and even myself, if I'm going to build a process and figure out how it works, I give myself a deadline. I tell them I can't have you. So I have someone on my executive team right now doing some sales stuff for me, like trying to figure out the messaging, trying to figure out the DMs. What I need from her is to hand that off. I don't want that to be a role, but I want her to facilitate and figure out what is the flow of the conversation we need to have. And so what I usually tell folks is, okay, you need to create an artificial deadline, right? 30 days. That's how much you have. I believe in having like if I come to you, because you know how us entrepreneurs are, if someone else on the team, we're like, I need this. And what all they hear is it's urgent, right? So I want them to ask me, is this urgent? Does this need to be, when does this need to be done? Right? So that's what I'm very tight on. What I'm not like too tight on.
Can I just
yeah.
pause you there? Because I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Thank
Because
you.
higher level people will basically be communicating in a way that they just are brainstorming. And oftentimes, the ICs are like, did you hear what Cory said? Cory wants this. Cory wants that.
It's like alarms going off, running around.
Yeah, Cory's like, I was simply just in the room and I was trying to participate in the conversation. and all of a sudden it becomes a directive. And I think that that layer of communication of criticality is like, it's like building that culture prevents process debt. It just literally does, because you're wasting effort. You're wasting human time.
Yeah. And I want people to be focused. So like, it's knowing their priorities, knowing how to bring themselves back. Yesterday I had a session with the executive team, and I was sitting there. I was like, show me all the different things we're working on. And we went through their list in the meeting. I was like, well, like ownership. I think, who owns what is super
Yep.
important. And that's where it's like, wait, but you just said you own this, but you said the role for this is for this person. That doesn't make any sense. Like, so I think roles, ownership, priorities, setting deadlines, super important. Where I want people to bring ideas. I want there to be conversation. So I'm going to be loose about it. I'm going to be loose about mistakes. With the caveat, right? Like, I want people to make mistakes. I want this to be a culture where people feel free to make mistakes. I don't want the same mistakes to keep happening, right? I don't want the same ones, right? I want people to learn, right? I need a culture where people feel free to learn, but are constantly learning and actually making improvements.
For sure. It's interesting. I saw it was like it was probably a ChatGPT poster, but it was like, look, when there's a problem, on LinkedIn, imagine that. When there's a problem, it's either the process or politics. Like that's the fork in the road. Like it's almost like it's with the Robert Frost, two paths diverged in a woods. I took one, and that's made all the difference. Like in business and screwing up, right? Because we all do it. Like you either it's process or politics. Like
We all we do with it. I love that, Chris. You're right. Where do we go once that happens?
So true. But I think like a lot of times it does come down to process. Yeah, sure, politics. But a lot of times it's like people don't realize, they blame everyone else.
Yep.
But they don't realize it's the process that they created that allowed for it.
Oh, isn't that crazy? Like my brother and I were talking about just the 5 whys. And how if you just literally just start thinking about 5 whys, and actually one of the things that I want to build is a team 5 why like generator, where like you express what the problem was, right? And you have the LLM just say, well, like ask the next question. The team puts in all their input, and you basically just drill down to get like a root cause analysis. Because for the most part, we just want to alleviate the stress. So we tell a story of why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And the story may be real. It may be false. It may be completely made up. It may be CYA.
You say politics, it makes me think it could also simply be more generalized as perspective, right?
Yeah.
And it's that we all look at the two parties involved in the same process, or looking at it through their experience and vantage point. And so, your 5 whys, if only there was a way to create something that allowed you to
we had
facilitate that.
ChatGPT.
Someday,
Claude.
someday, Chris.
One
Flying
day there'll
cars
be
and-
robots doing work for us.
That's right. Who will outsource to other robots? So,
It's interesting. Side note: I was talking to a friend about this, and there's people saying that agents, these tools that are built, will be richer than humans. So therefore, because they're able to automate this, it's like, oh well, what kind of world is that? That's crazy.
all right.
Going back, something else. Where am I very tight? It's like accountability. Like, it irks me when people don't take accountability. Like extreme accountability. Like, I don't care if you made a mistake. I don't care. It's like, own up and get better, right? So you can hear from the tone of my voice. It's like, I was like thinking that accountability, even as a leader, it's like, if there's a problem with the process, I made this mistake. It happened. We're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
very good,
amazing.
man. What a great talk. Like we can kind of wrap it up here. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
We will probably call you back at some point.
Anytime you want. We
How your
vibe.
business is going. No, this is really cool, man. I think the VA well, let me just go back a little bit. So a couple podcasts ago, we talked about there's no I in team, right? But there's a big I in AI, right? which is like AI is very good for individuals, but I think in specifically in that VA space where you just need a little bit of human touch, like I think it's really interesting. I think there could be great kind of growth in the process area using AI, maybe not on the back end, but more as a on the front end to just basically allow the humans to focus.
Yeah. Call the human in the loop, right?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's what we focus on. And I think that it's AI plus the right humans.
Yep.
So this is like a topic I've been focused on a lot lately because everyone's so scared of AI and replacing them. But it's like, go and learn AI. Go learn how to better yourself, right? If you are a C player with AI, you can catch up faster than ever. If you're an entry-level person, nobody's going to like hand you this stuff. Go out there, learn these tools. These tools make you better because you know what? The person with 20 years of experience, they're just 2 years into the AI explosion. So, the playing field is very level, and AI, it can make people so much better, right? It can give people superpowers. So I'm all for it. Just reframing the mindset.
So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah. So I'm active on LinkedIn, Substack, Instagram, TikTok. You can find me at hello@blumoso.com, BLUEMOSO.com. The business is called Blumoso, so you can go and check us out there. I also have a new podcast, Taking My Time Back. You can find that at takingmytimeback.com. I also have a newsletter, Taking My Time Back, on Substack. So, yeah, check it out.
Cory, are you going to launch anything on MySpace, or do you think that's played out?
I heard. I next thing I got to start a band first. That's what it was for.
Oh
right?
shit! Yeah, you're right.
But I could. I've been practicing in front. Like I've been doing a lot of singing while I've been working lately. Fun fact: I've never shared that with anyone. Only my girlfriend gets to hear it. She loves it.
Nice.
Not
That's
because
kind
I'm
of
good,
exclusive.
because she wants to see me do karaoke.
Oh,
Make a fool out of myself. Her
That's
last
awesome.
laugh to me.
That's a good motivation. Well, I play the spoon, so when you're ready, we'll launch the Chris can pick up the washboard or something and jump right in.
That's good.
So we'll run.
It's great.
Cory, thanks for joining us today.